Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Little Blue Fly. If this is your first time visiting, welcome, and I invite you to subscribe to my channel. It is as simple as pressing that subscribe button, tap that bell, and making sure to select all to receive all of my future postings. In today's video, we are going to be upcycling this wreath that I recently purchased from Bed Bath & Beyond. I want it to have a bit more of a wispy, whimsy feel to it. So I would like to share with all of you today how simple it is to achieve just that. So that being said, let's begin, shall we? So again, we have this wreath from Bed Bath & Beyond, beautiful full boxwood wreath that actually has, there is lights in it as well in the back. It's just nicely variegated. It's so full and lush, but I just wanted to add a bit more to it. So I am going to be sharing some of the greenery I purchased to upcycle this wonderful boxwood wreath. So first things first, plug in that glue gun. I have no idea where I purchased this from, but it's been a good glue gun. I think maybe it was Hobby Lobby though. And I also like using the longer glue sticks just because it's easier. I don't have to replace my sticks in as often as I would if I was using smaller glue sticks. And here is some of the greenery I will be using. Let me get this wrapping off. And it's just a gorgeous, lush, vining greenery. It was purchased from Michael's, 40% off. I love the size and the texture and just the vining properties of it. And it's going to go gorgeous with the colors on the wreath. So I will be putting together two wreaths, just one in the video though. So I went ahead and purchased 4 of these. I figured 4 would be sufficient to get me where I'm trying to go with these wreaths. And I also purchased this greenery from Michael's as well. I just purchased 3 of them. I love the yellow and green variegated leaves on this. Offers a different texture and style. And again, I did purchase 3, and this greenery is actually 40% off at Michael's right now. And it will go nicely as well with the boxwood wreath. And then the last greenery will be these little fresh and wispy ferns. And I'm not quite sure where I got these. I'm thinking maybe New River Pottery, but I'm not sure. But I will be actually pulling those apart as well. And this right here, how many of you play rock, paper, scissors? Well, we do quite a bit, but we've never played the card game. So I'm excited to see how this game is going to play out because we are huge rock, paper, scissors players over here. So let's go ahead and get started on the wreath now. First, I did pay $9.99 for each stem, and again, 40% off. And then 3 of these stems for $4.99, 40% off. And I already had these on hand, the ferns. I like how it has the brown stem going through. It gives it more of a natural look and feel. So I went ahead and clipped all of the branches off. And the ferns, I just pulled them back, sort of peeled them back like a banana. And they just came right off. And some of them have 3. And some are just a single. And I went ahead and clipped these off as well. I'm very excited to work with these right here. And as you can see, some of them are very long. But if I don't need the length, I can always pull it apart right here. And then it'll still flow nicely. Okay, so as you can see, the wreath, we want to go with the flow of the direction that the boxwood is going in. We don't want any of the other greenery to go against the grain, because then it won't have that nice flow to it. And it's as simple as putting hot glue on the tips of your stems and weaving it through the boxwood, and just pull little branches of boxwood through to make it look like the other greenery is naturally growing out and through the boxwood. And I'm just going to continue to follow this process. And as you can see, just adding the one, it's already made a wonderful difference. It's already giving some very nice visual interest. I pulled off a couple singles from the bottom of the one stem. And it's always good to play with your stems a little bit to make sure that you know exactly where you want to place it. That's so important, because once you get that hot glue on there, you want to, make sure you know for sure. Otherwise, you have to fuss with pulling out the hot glue and starting it all back over again, and that can get kind of messy. So just make sure to give yourself that extra moment to just stand back and take a look of, at where you want it to go. Because basically your arrangement, it's not going anywhere, right? It's going to stay right there as you make it look beautiful. So always make sure to just take your time and enjoy what you are creating. It's so important that we always enjoy what we're doing. I try to never go through a process just to go through it. There's always something to learn, and me having my hands in greenery, I'm always at my happiest there. with the earth and all the greens, the florals. So as you can see, I'm just continuing on, just working my way around, putting hot glue at the end, and weaving it through. And some pieces will stick out here and there, and that is absolutely perfect because you want it to look, natural, like it's truly growing in nature. So you want those little wispy pieces coming out here and there. At least I like it that way. I'm not a uniform girl at all. For to the right, that boxwood needs it to be fluffed a little bit. So making sure to get the hot glue on my stem. Just placing it in, and I'll just continue to weave and let some be wispy. Have a little single one here because I actually realized instead of purchasing 3 of these stems, I probably should have purchased 4. So I'm going to start using a little bit more singles, and I'll still, achieve the same outcome as if I was using the larger quantity on the branch. And again, just make sure that you continue the flow and going the same direction as the boxwood. Going to add a couple down here at the bottom. Have another little branch. I'm going to take some off to help make it stretch. And it'll be just fine because I'm adding more. I have to tell myself that. Add another piece up here. The two are just working so well with one another. They both have similar colors, but they have a different texture. Layering of the florals, the greenery is absolutely everything. Pulling off some of the glue strings that are going to be here and there. I'm just about finished. And you can see, again, by just adding just one different variety so far, that it has already made a great difference. Don't be afraid to experiment with the different textures. It's wonderful. So here we have the first step completed. and I'm liking it so far. But I do have one more branch. And do I really need to put it on here? Taking a look around. I'm gonna go ahead and start with these with some vines. So with the vines, the majority of it is going to hang, but I will weave in some, and I am gonna continue to make sure I follow the same direction. Get the glue at the tip, and these are just going to just vine down. As you can see in some of them, there's a little bit of some lighter green, but for the most part, it is a darker green, a different texture, and it works so well. Because you don't want all of your greenery to have the same color and texture. Variety's everything, right? It really keeps the eyes busy. If it keeps my eyes busy, I'm happy. Multiple layers, multiple different textures. I'm going to add one over to the right. So nice. And then I just spread them out a little bit. Have some go down, some go off to the side. I'm aiming for that very natural, whimsy feel with this arrangement. Love all the wispies. I'm looking over the greenery and I see I'm definitely going to have enough for this arrangement. These are actually spreading out much more better than the other. I'm going to break a smaller piece off of this one because I don't want it to be as long. Over here on the right hand side of the wreath. Making sure that I like the length. So I want to share this. I have some to the left and some to the right. I know many of you that have been following me for some time and have watched me make arrangements. When I use my larger florals, I like to make sure I have that triangular shape going. So if I have two to the sides, I need a point. And do I want the point to be up at top? Or do I want it to be at bottom? Or do I want it to be both places? Just as long as it continues to make that triangular shape, we're doing good. Now, this arrangement, I am going to have it hang longer down at the bottom because I'm not going to have any decor underneath. Now, you can change that. If you know you're going to have decor underneath your wreath, well, then you can have your vines hanging up at top quite a bit and not so much at the bottom because you're going to have many decor pieces there. And unless you're weaving it, through your decor, then I wouldn't bother placing any there because that would just be, it's basically wasted floral, wasted greenery. But here I know nothing is going to be underneath, so I really want that gorgeous draping vine. I believe I'm achieving it so far. I'm liking it. I'm going to add a little bit more. Again, this was purchased at Michael's, and you will not be disappointed working with this. This is a wonderful, wonderful greenery. I think I'm going to go back and get some more. I like it. Again, put some hot glue at your tip, just a little. And I will be weaving it through. I'm really enjoying working with these 3 different types of greenery. I always make sure when, I'm in the store and I'm working, sometimes I don't know. I just go in there and I just will purchase items that, grab interest, that really grab my eyes. And I can't just buy one thing or 2 things here. I have to make sure that a few items work with each other, and if they do, then I will purchase them, not knowing how I'm going to use them or where I'm going to use them. But in this case, I did know I was going to be using these pieces for the wreath. But I always try to make sure to match things up, because there's nothing worse than having the oddball out when it comes to your florals. 9 times out of 10, you don't use them and you end up taking them back or donating them, one or the other. Now we're going to add in some wonderful ferns. So what do you think so far, everyone? I'm absolutely loving this now. I think we're out of the like department and we're now going into the love department. Here we're going to place in the ferns. I love the brown that is weaved throughout this fern because it helps give it more of a natural look and feel. Putting on that hot glue on the stem. And they're metal, they're quite long, but it is a thinner metal, so I didn't bother cutting it down because I'll actually get more stability having a longer wire weave through. And look, ferns, just look at this fern. It's almost like they bring a drink of water to arrangements. They really do bring life in anything that they are placed into. Placing in the fern just really stepped it up a few notches. I mean, I feel each one that I have added on, but the fern just sort of, like I said, it just brings that drink of water to the arrangement. It makes it fresh and crisp. And I'm going to keep them going around in the inside of the wreath, making sure to spread out and weaving it through the boxwood and different florals. Because again, you want that natural feel. You just don't want to plop it down and just keep it there. Because then that just looks sloppy. I don't like sloppy. Going to add another one over here to the left. And just bend the stem in the direction that the wreath is going. And sometimes I just have to play with things a little bit just to make sure that I am certain that is exactly where I want to place the piece. Because it's horrible gluing something in and then having to pull it out because it just doesn't look right. Yes. Very nice. Now I have some singles that I will be adding in. I'm going to place one up at top. Because right now I've just worked around in the center. The top is looking kind of welcoming, like, yes, I need something up here. They're ready for the company. Have my hot glue. Just going to place it right up at top. As you can see with the arrangement, you know, it's so important to let your florals just naturally flow. You know, get some of the natural shape to it. I've probably already have said that a couple times in this video, but it's so important. It's so important to not just bunch up floral together. If ever you make an arrangement and you feel like it's just overcrowded and it just can't breathe, 9 times out of 10 it's because you either have too much floral, or 2, it just hasn't been weaved through. And that one down there is being a little bit stubborn. It's not wanting to work, but we'll make it work. See, that one was just bothering me a little bit. I am going to have to play with this one some. So now I am happy. I have my greenery in 3 different types, along with the base, which was a boxwood wreath. And I'm absolutely loving all the colors, but yes, I need a little more because we are in the season of color, everyone. The season of berries. Heck, every season over here to me is a season for berries. Now, I don't want the berry going up, you know, how I've been talking about the flow of it. But as you can see, me placing it downwards, it's still gonna go with the flow. Because heavy berries like this, they vine down, they hang down. These were actually purchased from Hobby Lobby, and they come in a very large bundle. And I just clip them off at the bottom when I make my arrangements. And I get quite a few out of one. And I'm gonna do the same as with the others. Weave it in. Make it look like it's growing. The berries are growing out and through all the florals. Have them really get in there and meet and greet all their different neighbors in there amongst all the goodness. I'm going to add one at the bottom. And as you can see with these stems, I have not been adding any hot glue. And it's because quite a bit would have to go on there. And I know, well, I mean, I don't know, but I believe I might, who knows, change this wreath around. You know, I might decide to take everything out of it and build a completely different wreath. Then I have to fuss with large amounts of hot glue, and that's just something I don't enjoy doing at all. So because this wreath, the boxwood, was so dense, and then I added in all of the other greenery, it's really holding these stems in nicely. As you can see, they are not slipping out of place at all. And again, I just weave the berries through all the greenery and pull out some of the boxwood. Make sure to spread everything out. I didn't even have to use any wire. It just really held in there. And I'm going to place one up at top. If you know when you are making a wreath though that it will always stay that way, that you will not be changing it up, then by all means I suggest using a good amount of glue and even wire if you need to. So I'm going to pull out a good amount of boxwood to help cover up some of the stem. Get off some of that hot glue. Now pulling back and looking at it, I say let's just add a little bit of ribbon. So I just placed on this darling green and yellow check ribbon. And am I done? Of course not. For those of you that know me, must have the moss. I don't care if it's a wreath arrangement, a basket arrangement, a tray, whatever it might be. I always suggest placing in this moss because it completes it, and it, when look at it, it just really will make your arrangements pop every time. And you always want to get some of your natural elements in with your faux greenery. Then it just doesn't look like a faux arrangement. It really looks more natural and absolutely perfect.